Now, I want you to talk us through the nitty-gritties of how it works. So let's say I was preparing a typical meal of, let's say, a stew and rice. What would I do?
Okay. First of all, you probably should have 2 Wonderbags.
All right.
So rice, hugely simple. People have a big issue with rice. I could never cook rice. People burn rice. I don't know. Rice is it seems an emotional meal to cook. Anyway, Wonderbag takes all that away. You literally 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. That's the only trick. Normally it's 1 cup of water to 1 cup of rice to 6 cups of water. So now it's 2 to 1, which shows the water saving, massive in our country where there's water shortages all over. So you put 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, bring it to the boil for 2 minutes, put it in the Wonderbag, close it, and it continues to cook for an hour. So an hour later, you open it and you've got fluffy rice. But the best thing is that you don't have to take it out after an hour. If you leave it for 8 hours, it's not going to ruin, because it's not going to go mushy because the water's all absorbed. So it stays fluffy in there. So that's how you do the rice. The casserole or the stew, you would prepare it as you normally would. You brown the onions, put your meat in, brown your meat, put your vegetables in, your stock, whatever you want to put into it. Your wine.
Very
anything,
important.
Absolutely. Red wine for your lambs and your beefs, white for your chickens. You cook it as you normally would. When the recipe says turn on to simmer for 2 hours, you take it off the stove. So for meat, our rule is 20 minutes. From prep to boiling point. Okay, so you boil it for probably 15 minutes. You put the pot inside the bag, you seal it, and you leave it in there for 4 to 5 hours. Now, every bag comes with a recipe book, and we have a huge amount of recipes on our website. So it is very intuitive. I'm not introducing something that is complicated, that is trying to, you need huge kind of education or cooking classes. It can't burn. Nothing burns. We do suggest putting a dish towel under your pot, just so that your bag doesn't get dirty. Which brings me to the washing point, is that it's very easy to wash. You can hand wash it. You can throw it in the machine.
Oh, that's music to my ears.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's repurposed foam, so there's nothing sinister. It's simple, it's easy.
That's the next thing I want to ask you. What is it made of? Because, of course, many people are understandably concerned about the type of products that they're using, especially when you're feeding your family. So what is it made of?
Okay, so it's made of chipped foam, as simple as that. Our first bags were polystyrene, which also work just as well. There are many polystyrene bags in the market and in homes. This is chipped foam. It never touches the food, okay? So you've got a sealed pot inside the bag. As I said, comes with a recipe book. And this is a poly cotton blend fabric. And so there's nothing, no pollutants, no any strange chemicals. Very simple, straightforward, very light. So when you're finished cooking, you can literally put it under a surface, put it on top, use it as a bean bag, whatever.
I love how beautiful it is. It really does look like a South African product. And was that part of your thinking when you designed them, when you make them, you want something that looks beautiful?
The honest truth is I am not a design person, but I'm a very African person. And the person who inspired the Wonderbag, who made the first Wonderbag, when I met her, she was wearing a bright-colored shwe dress. And I said to her, I met her on an aeroplane, and I said, Mushi, I'm going to vote you the best dressed on the aeroplane. Because she'd introduced herself to me, and she laughed, and she made my first Wonderbag out of the fabric of her dress. And I'm extremely inspired by African women, because they have never tried to emulate being men. They celebrate their power, they celebrate their femininity, they walk into a boardroom in their glory, not in a suit and trying to look like a man. The colors and the flamboyancy. So that's always played a big role in who I am, and having been brought up by African women, in South Africa. So I wanted to celebrate my being an African woman, and I suppose that's why I've stuck with the shwe and stuck with the African stamp. So even our Wonderbags that are sold in America on Amazon are shwe fabrics. People love them. They're sold in 27 countries, and this is what you get.